The Land of Go-Ho by Stacey Wetherwax. Stacey Wetherwax lived in the Empower group home in Sanborn, New York. She had lived there for many years and been quite happy. On a Tuesday morning in June, she woke up about 6 a.m. and was feeling pretty good. No mice had disturbed her sleep that night, and she arose to the happy thought of Glamour Day at Brock Day services, where she'd have her makeup done, see her friends, receive a soothing hand massage, drink some coffee, exchange a few swear words with the niece, and have a free lunch that had no ham in it whatsoever. The sun came through her window, and she knew the day would be perfectly warm. No rain at all in the forecast. Suddenly, the happy thoughts changed in Stacey's mind as she could not smell any coffee brewing. Something must have been very wrong. She always smelled coffee first thing in the morning. Out went her bottom lip. She called out for her group home staff. She turned on her iPad and played some of her favorite songs loudly. Usually the staff yelled at her for having the music too loud, but no one was yelling this morning. No, no, no.
No.
Stacey looked out the window and saw all 4 staff members of the Empower group home standing together and enjoying their cigarettes. That's why they were late to get her up. They were too busy huffing and puffing out there. Stacey had never had a smoke. She wondered how anyone could enjoy such a yucca thing as a cigarette. She knew that Mom used to smoke for a while, but stopped, and Mom always told Stacey never to start smoking, and she never did. She looked back to her iPad for a moment to replay the Snell song she loved so much. And then looking back out the window, she saw the 4 staff members getting into their cars and just driving away. How was Stacey going to get out of bed? How was she going to get to Glamour Day? How was she going to get coffee? What about breakfast? She was stuck in bed. She called aloud again. Help! She couldn't hear any of her housemates who lived with her either. Stacey had a sinking feeling that she'd been left all alone. Before she could get very scared and upset about missing out on what was supposed to have been a very happy Tuesday, Stacey saw a rainbow-colored light glowing from the edges of her beloved night monkey painting on her wall. The light grew brighter, more colorful, and then the painting started to open as though it was a door on a hinge. The bright light poured out into her eyes. She had to squint and look away. Stacey thought she was dreaming, and the only explanation for what she was seeing was that it was a dream. But then it got more strange, more real. Out of the little door, behind her favorite painting on the wall, stepped a large feline paw. A large feline head, glorious and mane, squeezed through after the paw. Out popped a fully grown wild lion. Stacey had seen lions at the zoo, but always behind glass or at a distance. This lion was a few feet away from her in the bedroom. If this was a dream, it was too real. The lion stood motionless, looking at her. Stacey wondered if it would pee on her floor. Something else was coming through the door of light. A black point came out of the light, and soon there emerged a black cone and a brim, a hat, a woman's head, and the rest of a full-bodied classic witch.
Hello, Stacey Wetherwax,
said the witch, who looked very much like the stereotypical witch from the Wicked Witch of the West in the classic film The Wizard of Oz. Go home. Leave me alone.
No,
said Stacey from her resting place in bed.
Oh, I'm a good witch, and this lion here is a friend of mine. He won't hurt you now.
The witch stroked the lion's mane, and he purred contentedly and licked her wart-covered face. After a hearty cackle and wiping the slobber from her face, the witch continued,
Would you like to come home with me through the little door to the land of Go-Ho?
No, said Stacey. She wanted to go to Glamour Day at Brock, not through some creepy door of light in her bedroom with a witch and a lion she hardly even knew.
Oh, come on now. Don't be such a downer,
said the witch as she lurked closer to Stacey's bedside.
The land of Go-Ho has lakes of coffee, chocolate clouds, and most things there are purple, and there is no ham at all to be found.
While the witch spoke, Stacey typed a message to Alex on her iPad. She wrote, got a problem here. Little worried. There's a witch in my room with a lion. Wants me to go through a weird door of light. Might miss glamour. You write now, please. Now you write, please. When? Coffee. It was all she had time to write as the witch snatched the iPad from her hands and smashed it on the floor.
Enough, said the witch. Time for you to go to GoHo and have some real fun now, Stacey. Did I mention you'll have no need of your power chair in GoHo? And in GoHo, no one ever needs to go to the bathroom.
Stacey didn't know what to say. It probably was just a dream, so going to GoHo would be just fine. A dream couldn't hurt her, could it? The witch waved a wand. Stacey began to shrink. Her clothes shrank with her. At first, Stacey thought the bed was getting bigger, but then she realized that she was getting smaller. The witch lifted the miniature Stacey out of bed and held her in her arms like a baby.
Let's go to GoHo,
said the witch, as they jumped through the door with Stacey in her arms and the lion close behind them. Stacey passed through a tunnel of light, then darkness, then more light. The light grew stronger and wider until she, the witch, and the lion arrived in a casino made of chocolate and coffee. Is this GoHo? Asked Stacey. She was standing up. She was very small, but she was standing and walking. Her power chair was gone. She didn't have to go to the bathroom at all. She took a bite from the corner of a chocolate slot machine. The witch and the lion laughed at Stacey's excitement. Stacey thought of sending an email right away, but remembered how the witch destroyed her precious little iPad on the other side of the rainbow light door. Though Stacey could now walk, she no longer had to go to the bathroom at all. She realized that she couldn't speak anymore. The words wouldn't come out of her mouth. With her talker smashed to pieces and left behind the other side of the locked door, all she could do was move her hands and face to make gestures. Just as she got the witch's attention, the witch said, "Oh, no. You will not be able to speak here in the land of GoHo, my dear. While you are a guest here in GoHo, you will have to remain silent, for that is just our way." Stacey mouthed the words,
No.
in protest, but no sound came out. The witch could read her lips, however, and the witch said,
I don't need to hear you for me to be able to understand you.
The witch said these words kindly, and it seemed as though Stacey's mute state was not a punishment or a penalty, but merely a consequence of some kind. But then the witch said, I used me magic to bring you here, to make you walk, to make you never go to the bathroom again. Not knowing why the witch did this to her, to give her some abilities yet take others away, Stacey assumed the witch was of the bad variety. Stacey started to feel very frightened. Then, little men smoking cigarettes started moving all around her. They greeted her with dramatic bows while removing their peculiar, colorful hats. Their little suits were multicolored and of an older fashion that she did not quite recognize. Before the crossing over, she reasoned that these polite yet creepy little men were very small indeed. As in her present state of small, the little men stood no taller than Stacey's kneecaps. The witch observed Stacey's contemplations a moment before saying,
Do not freak out, little Wetherwax. Follow me and the lion now to the doctor's buffet, where everything will be explained to you.
Stacey walked at a quick pace behind the witch and beside the lion. She couldn't stop focusing on how good it felt to walk. One leg, then the other, formed in time, step. Oh, sway the arms, forward leg, plant the foot, each step a kind of falling and catching of herself. Walking felt kind of good. The witch stopped a moment to wait for Stacey, who drank some hot coffee from a slot machine. The black brew dribbled steadily from the machine's token dispenser shaft. Stacey wondered whether the machine gave not only coffee, but also money. So just for fun, she pushed the play button. An instant jackpot alarm sounded as lights flashed and dozens of Hershey's Kisses tumbled out from the dispenser. What a land! Coffee and chocolates together.
You see,
said the witch before leading them onward.
you could really come to love this land of Go-Ho now, couldn't you, Stacey?
Stacey felt good with the coffee and chocolate inside of her. The witch couldn't have been all that bad if she allowed so much coffee to be enjoyed in the land of Go-Ho. Onward they continued, until they came to a large room at the end of the casino's chocolate-covered hall. Within the space there stood a very hard man, who was also long and tall. Clearly he was made of solid wood. But this man looked like he could have been the hardened, woodened version of Stacey's friend Denise. But instead of a cart full of cleaning supplies, the large wooden man pushed a cart full of common field mice performing what looked to be a small, mouse-sized circus. It was the weirdest thing Stacey had seen yet. The man looked at Stacey and smiled to reveal wooden, mossy teeth. And in a deep, hollow voice he said, "You should go home." Stacey did not want to go home, as the adventure in Go-Ho was getting far too scary. The witch barked at the hard man.
Cease your speaking, or I'll turn you into a rowboat.
She aimed her wand at the wooden, hard man, and he cowered and seemed to grow smaller in his spot. "I'll be good, I'll be good," said the hard man, as he returned his attention to the training of his circus mice. The lion, the witch, and the weatherwax continued past the hard man until they arrived at the doctor's buffet. Despite all the stress of entering into the strange place beyond the door behind the monkey painting in her room, Stacey still felt kinda hungry. But the doctor buffet offered almost nothing edible whatsoever. Instead of the typical buffet spread, this doctor's buffet offered stainless steel tables, tongue depressors, stethoscopes, thermometers, blood draw accessories such as cotton balls and alcohol swabs and vinyl gloves. What a yucca-eata buffet it was. A tall man in a lab coat came up to them and said to Stacey, "You should get up on that table over there." Stacey tried to turn around and go home, but the tall doctor grabbed her and swooped her up onto the table at the center of the buffet. Stacey squirmed and shook her fists, but the doctor didn't seem to care at all.
"I have a deal for you, Stacey,"
said the witch.
"If you do something for me, I will give you the power to speak again and send you home to Sandbarn, if that's what you really want. But you are welcome to stay here in Go-Ho if you'd prefer."
"I think you'd better tell Stacey what you need her to do," said the doctor. "She seems willing to negotiate."
"I am very sick in the bladder," began the witch. "I need a very special medicinal apple that hangs alone on a tree at the top of a cardboard skyscraper. I need you to get it for me, Stacey."
"I think she's probably wondering why you chose her for this job, witch," said the doctor.
"I chose you because a physical therapist you know named Pat Fu failed to get the apple the first time. The jerk took a bite out of it, and now he's somewhere in a deep 100-year sleep near the cardboard skyscraper. Where exactly, I don't know."
Stacey was scared to say yes, scared to say no. She wanted to go home, but she knew that being able to walk and to never have to use the bathroom again was a benefit. And it would be easy to just get an apple from the top of the building.
"We will not be sending you alone, you know. Your helper is ready here. In fact, here she comes now."
Stacey could not believe her eyes when she saw dear old Lily Silverback, the monkey in the painting on her wall, walk on all fours from behind the witch's gown over to Stacey's side. Stacey felt good to have a companion for the trip. For a moment she feared it would be the hard man again. She didn't want that jerk coming along on the trip. But after a little hug from dear old Lily Silverback, Stacey set out on her quest for the medicinal apple of the cardboard tower. Along the road to the cardboard skyscraper, Stacey and Lily found many obstacles and challenges. For example, Stacey was tempted by an iced coffee stream. She drank so much from the refreshing brew that despite Lily's warnings to her, Stacey's hair grew over 5 times longer than her body in less than 30 minutes. Lily tried cutting the hair again and again, but it kept kept growing back all the faster. Finally, Stacey and Lily settled for just letting the hair grow as much as it wanted. The hair trailed behind Stacey and gathered up all kinds of debris and gross vermin. The hair finally stopped growing when Stacey and Lily found the sleeping Pat Foo. Foo had fallen asleep in a pile of hooded sweatshirts, and in go-ho time, the poor man had lain there for 100 years. Stacey knew that Foo had slept because he took a bite of that medicinal apple. Too bad for Foo. Nevertheless, Stacey helped Foo wake up from his 100-year slumber by moving his legs slowly at first. Foo snapped out of it after Stacey manipulated the man's limbs, much like a physical therapist back home would do. Foo woke up groggy, but he was grateful to Stacey, and he joined her and Lily on the path to the cardboard tower. When the cardboard skyscraper was in sight, a giant bear that reeked of boiled ham attacked the three companions. Bravely, they fought the ham-stinking bear until they forced it back into the den from which it came. Nothing could stop them now from getting to the top of that tower. The medicinal apple rested there at the top. The golden sunlight of Go-Ho shone upon its tree and the apple's perfect surface, except for one little bite mark from the mouth of a Foo. Stacey took the apple. It came easily off the tree. Back down the tower they went, with Foo and Lily at her side. The way back to the doctor's buffet was easy, and rather carefree compared with the journey from the buffet to the tower. And though there were no more opponents to face, Stacey worried then that the witch might not let her go home. What if the apple didn't work? What if the witch wanted something else from her? What if the witch was just lying? What if this was all just a dream? Well, if it was, then it didn't really matter. The witch saw them coming. She ran out to greet them. She said, "You did it! You did it! Now give me the apple now. I need it to fix my bladder." Stacey held out the perfect apple, but the tall doctor grabbed it before the witch could even take hold of it. "I need to turn this into medication first, and after you take it, my witch, you're going to have to sleep for a little while."
I don't care. Give it to me now. I need the apple now,
said the witch. Stacey was beginning to worry the witch forgot about sending Stacey home. The witch was crazy with desire for that apple. The doctor quickly turned the apple into these little green pills. The witch took a handful of them, threw them back into her throat, and she drank them down with coffee from a nearby slot machine. "No, you fool," said the doctor. "That is too much." The witch looked happy at first. She put her hands to her bladder. She danced around and felt it roughly. She said, It's gone now. My bladder's healed now. I can feel it. I'll send you home right away if you ask it of me, Stacey. I'm all healed." Stacey nodded her head. She was finally going to get out of Go-Ho. The witch pointed to the casino's chocolate wall, and the door of light appeared. There, said the witch, pointing to the small glowing door of light. "That is your way back home to your boring world. I got no idea why you'd want to return to that world, but go if you must. I guess you've earned it." Stacey said goodbye to the lion, the buffet doctor, to Lily, and to Pat Foo, who said he wanted to stay in Go-Ho because the land just had so many gray hooded sweatshirts. Stacey started to wave goodbye to the witch, but she started to look very, very sleepy, kind of like Lisa Brown on a Monday morning. "Wait a minute. What's happening to me?" asked the witch. "Well, you took too many pills," said the doctor. "Though your bladder is healed, you're asleep for 100 years.
"Oh, God. This sucks,"
said the witch.
"But I guess it's worth it to be healed, I suppose. Miss Wetherwax, I have one question for you. Before you leave this land forever and I go to sleep, why do you want to go back to your old world? There you cannot walk. You have to use the bathroom. You have to pay for coffee and chocolates or mooch them off Denise Spencer. Why, Wetherwax? Why?"
As Stacey was just outside the door of light, about to go back into her bedroom, she could feel her power of speech returning, and she said to the witch, in a single word. Scott. Go-Ho had much to offer, but it lacked one very important thing. Scott.
Oh, I see.
Said the witch, her eyes closed heavily. She lay back into the doctor's crash cart, and he wheeled her off for her 100 years of sleep. Stacey passed through the door and found herself back in her normal-sized body that still lay in her bed. She opened her eyes and saw the group home staff members standing all around her, and among them was Kendra. Kendra said, "You were out cold. You even slept through the 5 a.m. fire drill. What happened?" No, said Stacey, just shaking her head. There was no point in telling Kendra. They'd never believe the story. The strangest thing happened while you were sleeping, Stacey. All of the staff gave up smoking. They went out there and tried to smoke, but you know what they couldn't? They barfed coffee and chocolate like they were slot machines paying off. It was so weird. They're happy about it. They say it's kind of hard to quit smoking, but to be just free of the habit like that, isn't that kind of a miracle? Stacey smiled knowingly. She knew that the staff quitting smoking had something to do with her being in Go-Ho and meeting with the witch, getting the medicinal apple. Maybe the witch had cast a spell as a kind of thank you for Stacey. Who knows? All that mattered was Stacey would be gotten out of bed right on time from now on. Stacey looked to the monkey painting on her wall, and she half expected the door of light to open again, revealing the land of Go-Ho within. But it never did. For another moment, she thought she saw the monkey in the painting give her one little wink. "Do you have to use the bathroom?" asked Kendra. "Don't you know it, Kendra? Don't you know it?"